plan and drive worry-free. Repairs are needed, and once your car breaks down, it's too late. The sooner
You know, I really like rainy days like this, where it's not pelting horrible, it's just a very light drizzle. Not terribly hot, just perfect. So what's up, you guys? Chet the Dream Poet here, coming to you all with day 117. One second, I gotta make this turn. Day 117 of my vlogging experience here in the state of Florida. Now today kind of turned out to be a very rainy day. Hopefully my brakes won't grind up a little bit. Actually, I found out my brakes are not as bad as I thought they were. So I could probably drive around a little bit more before I gotta get my brakes replaced. But I don't know. I'm gonna see what this day holds. Starting out on a good foot, and what y'all think is bad weather. It's nice, it's down to earth, it's not hot, and I think I see my friend Steven's car, so he's working too. So, now that I'm parked, let's get day 117 started. Let's do it. And by the way, I apologize for yesterday's vlog being at like 5 o'clock again. That, I don't know, I just had to go into work pretty much. So you guys, let's do it. These nuts! Got him! Dude, look at that number. I've never seen anything over 1,000. That's kind of bad. What's up, you guys? Day 117 was not all exciting. The only thing I can say for the moral of the story for this one is never underestimate a no-call, no-show, because instead of working till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you don't get off till 8 o'clock in the evening, and then you also make the mistake of not editing the video because you think you can do it all within a couple of hours. Nope. So you guys, if y'all are wondering why day 116 was very late, well, y'all know. But tonight, I figured I would make it up to you guys that I would tell you a ghost story. Now, when I do tell people these stories, it's okay for them to think that I'm crazy. And doing paranormal exploration, ghost hunting, in other words. And after like seeing the stuff that I've seen, you would probably not think that I'm crazy, but I'm actually quite sane. And it makes me think about what had happened with my best friend in an apartment he got back in January of 2016. I believe it was January 2017. But this is a series of stories and incidences that happened while he was living in this apartment. And only till later on, after the fact that he had moved out, we found out why all these things were going on. Fast forward, or backtracking, to January 2016. My friend moves into his house. He's happy. He's got himself a nice purchase. The house is originally a very big house, a very big one, but to the owners that purchased it, they split it into what you call a quadplex. A quadplex is basically like 4 different living spaces that can accommodate 4 different families. And my friend, he had the bottom right, well, bottom left apartment. It was in the basement, and really it was very interesting. You could walk into like one door and you could see where the stairs led up back up to the first floor. But he lived there for about 3 months and everything was okay until me and him were walking along the park, just taking a stroll, and he turns around and he tells me, "I think I've got a spook in my house." And me, I say, "Well, what do you mean?" You know, I mean, I know he and his family have had trouble with that in the past, and I figured, well, is this place haunted too? And he tells me, "Well, Chet, here's what happened. I'd gotten off from the night shift, I was making myself some coffee, and I fell asleep, and when I woke up, the coffee maker was off. Like someone had physically pressed the button from on to off, and it's just completely off." And this happened several other times, and right about maybe 5 months into living there, keys would go missing, knives would go missing, appliances would go missing, and they would reappear in totally different parts of the apartment. Just total random spots. And then this had me worried for my friend. I'd witnessed this too, but his cat, Scrappy, would not enter his bedroom. The cat would hiss at the bedroom door. It would stare ominously at the bedroom door, but it would not go in to my best friend's bedroom. And also at the same time, Scrappy was acting very strange. He stopped eating. He was getting really skinny. He was very sick. He was using the bathroom everywhere, and he would just stay in one particular corner of the apartment. And then, come to find out, my friend was getting growled at the middle of the night. Whatever this thing was, it was getting right in his ear, and it was growling at him. It was hissing at him. And he dealt with this for like close to an entire 6-7 months. And this happened while I was there with him. I can account for this because I saw this happen. But we were sitting there one night watching YouTube on his television, and we hear a knock at the door. Now, this is like very like still much in the winter, like before spring's about to hit. He opens up the door, and there's no one there. No one. But in the glass frame door, there was this giant handprint on the glass stained window that you could clearly see the outline of through the mist or the fog, whatever you want to call it. The handprint was huge. And the kicker of all that is the door was still locked. Like this glass screen door, it was closed. It was locked. but somehow from the inside a handprint appeared right in front of us. And right about this time, I was very, very concerned for my best friend's well-being. And really, he couldn't do anything about it. Like, he was very good friends with the landlord. I was good friends with the landlord. And he didn't want to break the lease. He wanted to keep going for the entire year and before deciding if he wanted to move on. Well, there's also more to the story as well. His brother, who tends to, how I like to put things, see things, it was on several occasions that he would see this giant shadow figure looming in the corner of the room. Very tall, that appeared to them several times. My best friend was also hearing children's laughter and a woman's crying, sometimes at about 3, 4 in the morning. And really, the thing that really scared me, other than the time that I was sitting with him, or actually his cat was sitting in my lap, my best friend was sitting like adjacent on the other end of the room, and like not even 2 inches away from me, the cat was hissing. Like it was freaking out, like not even 2 inches away from where I was sitting. So, yeah. But it was New Year's Eve of 2018, I believe. I think it was 2018. Yes, I think it was January of 2018 that me and my best friend, we had a lot of other friends over. We had a huge New Year's Eve party. And when I was trying to fall asleep on the couch, I felt this black shadow figure standing over me. And it was breathing heavily, like a... And really, I wasn't showing it fear, but at the same time, I did not want to move. And this presence loomed over me for probably a good 30 minutes before just disappearing. Now, fast forward to when my best friend moved out. We had found out from the landlord that whatever this thing was talking to his child and playing with his child now. And from the landlord's neighbor about 20 years prior, a man and his wife had died on the first floor of the house, like right above where my best friend lived. And previously, their child had died. It was a boy. And that goes to explain, like, the child's crying, or the child's laughter and the woman's crying. Because the husband was very abusive to the wife, apparently. And it makes me think maybe if it was a homicide. So, that's my ghost story for tonight, you guys. For that entire year that my best friend dealt with that, it was a lot on him. But now that I've told my story, I'm going to bed. Keep the lights on if you have to. I hope you enjoyed my ghost story. And remember, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Don't forget to stay posted, stay tuned. Keep in touch with me at Dream Poet at Facebook, as well as my Instagram at the links below. And thank you all for the love and support. Y'all have a safe night. I hope day 117 was considered fun. Peace, you guys.